We're here with Waveforevafilms. I'm with Yelena, the Latin award-winning artist from Boston. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Pleasure to have you.
Likewise.
You can start by telling us, how'd you come up with your name?
Well, it's my government name, as they say. My dad gave me this name, so I just thought I would stick with just using the name that was given to me at birth as my artist name. It just made sense.
With your music and your name, do you focus on authenticity?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I feel like when you're an artist, especially music, you should always focus with authenticity. You should always be yourself. You shouldn't really copy other people. But of course, as you're working on your career per se, people are always going to compare you to others, which is okay. But you as yourself should always stick to what you know and who you are as you're growing. So,
how did your dad come up with the name?
I forget the story, but I know one of the things was because his sister, my aunt, she has the same name as me. She just spells it differently. But he's one of the reasons why she was the reason why he decided to give me Yelena as my name. My mom was like kind of opposed to that. She wanted to give me a different name, which was Nairobi. So.
Oh, okay. They're really unique with that.
Yeah.
Yelena.
Nairobi. Yeah.
Nairobi. That sounds Egyptian.
Yeah.
No, foreign. I like that. I like that. Does your name have a meaning behind it?
I know it means light. So, yeah.
Okay,
shining light.
Okay, shine bright. Does your music reflect your name?
I would say so, yeah. Probably, yeah. I would say so.
What genre would you say you go with when you make your music?
I'm kind of like the Latin type, Latin R&B soul kind of area. So I'm still experimenting with my sound, of course, but I definitely feel like as time goes on, I'll be sticking with the Latin area and then obviously the R&B area, just because in general, I'm a very soulful person. So I kind of just, right now I'm experimenting in a way where I just want to mix the two together, But of course, with the Latin side of things, this year I told myself I would work on my first salsa type of, single and, kind of continue to experiment. So yeah.
Do you focus on a lot of Latin music? Is that what you want to base it around?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the type of artist I see myself is I want to be at the top of the Latin music industry, but as well because I am Latin American, I want to be able to be in the both of the markets. So be in the Latin market, so international market, and also be in the American market. So identify with both markets, I guess you could say. So I definitely would say yeah, I do. I sing music in Spanish and English, which is one of the reasons why I really want to be in the Latin market, but also in the the American market. So
I would love to hear about your Latin award winning.
Oh yeah.
Introduce us to that. How did you feel?
Yeah, with winning Latin Artist of the Year, I felt very grateful. I kind of questioned it at first, just because I haven't really been doing music for so long. I've only been doing it for about 3 years now, which is great. I'm very grateful for for the award and for those who advocated for me, and who truly see my potential. But yeah, it was good. I felt really good. At first, I just kind of questioned myself, wait, is this for real? Because a lot of the other people who are nominated for that award, a lot of them been doing what they do for much longer than I have. So I was just very grateful to have won it and to have, to have that title, I guess you could say. But yeah.
What about your Boston winning award, Artist of Boston? How did that make you feel?
Well, both of them is from Latin Artist of the Year from Boston Music Awards. So
Okay.
both of them, I mean, yeah, they're the same. So I felt good.
Okay, right. Congratulations! I'm happy
Thank
for
you.
you. When you answered, you're still experimenting with your voice. Do you have a certain place you want to get, or you're trying to find where you want to get?
I mean, I would say I'm still experimenting with my sound, so I'm still kind of like testing the waters, as they say, like still trying to see like, okay, you know, how does my voice sound when I do like an upbeat type of, you know, song, or how does my voice sound when I do like these kind of like typical music I wouldn't see myself doing, if that makes sense. But that's definitely one of the biggest things I'm working on this year, you know. So, but yeah.
Tell us where you're from.
So I was born in Boston. Originally, originally from Boston. I grew up in Florida. So I lived in Florida for about close to 9 years, 8 to 9 years. When I moved to Florida, I lived like in Orlando for a year. Then I moved down to Cape Coral, which is right next to Fort Myers. And I lived there, like close to 8 to 9 years. And then I came back to Massachusetts.
Do you think if you stayed in Florida, would it changed your music route, the way you wanted to flow, your experiment?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, like I don't know if I stayed here, if I would have like awakened to wanting to become an artist, or you know, a famous artist, I guess you could say. But yeah, I don't know.
Are your close friends, family, supportive of what you do?
Yeah, I would say my family, they're definitely supportive. They're definitely, you know, at this point, they do recognize that I'm really going hard on my music career. I think at first they were kind of opposed to it because they didn't see, you know, going after music career as it being a very realistic career, it being a stable career. Especially because, like, you know, I went to college and all that kind of stuff. So like and at first they were kind of like, we don't know, like, is this gonna even bring you like stability, you know? But now they're very supportive of it. They recognize, you know, what I like, that this is literally what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is literally my career. This is where I'm gonna end up gaining, you know, wealth from it and stuff like that is my hope, or I would say will happen. So like they're happy with me about it. My mom sometimes, you know, kind of has certain ideas, opinions about it, but they're supportive about it for sure, as they're, you know, right now. And that took a while. And then friends, yeah, I would say they're supportive of it too. I mean, um, my closest friends, they definitely are, you know, for sure.
Do you have any regrets on the journey you're taking?
No, I mean, sometimes I've questioned, like, you know, what would have happened if we really started our music career, let's say when I was like 18. But at the same time, I kind of feel like everything happens for a reason. I feel like there's a reason why I started my music career when I did start it, because having a music career, especially doing music, it's not easy. You have to have a certain mindset, especially as you're just, you know, as you're growing, as you're elevating, and especially being an independent artist when you don't, you know, have like representation, you don't have anyone backing you. It's a lot of discipline, and I feel like those are things that sometimes people don't talk about, and it's a lot of money. You know, doing music when you don't really have an income, um, it's not easy to do, because starting a music career is very expensive, you know. And if I wasn't doing music, maybe my finances would be a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, it will get there, the finances and everything. But yeah, it's just, I definitely don't regret anything, I would say. I'm just trying to make sure that I always maintain looking young as the years go on. So
Period. No stress, no regrets. That definitely helps with the aging. So talk to us. When and what caused you to start your journey of music?
I pretty much started, I would say officially, the age of 15 is when I really realized that I really wanted to, become a artist, like a performing artist, a singer, travel around the world, become this big artist at the age of 15. And prior to 15, like I started singing when I was 7, but at the time when I was very young, when I was singing, had stage fright. So I never really had the courage to really sing in front of people up until I was 15. And when I was 15 years old, that was the very first time I got a chance to sing in front of people. Like my first time performing was at my school, at my high school that I went to, and I got to perform like Adele, a song by Adele. It was like Sapphire to the Rain. And the very first time I performed, that's when I really realized like this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
What's the first song you recorded?
The very first song I recorded was my song that I released back in 2020, which was called On My Own. So, yeah.
How did you feel about the song?
I was very critical about it. I didn't really know what people were going to think of it. It being my first song, but I got pretty good feedback when it was first released. Until this day, a lot of people tell me that they really like that song, and that that is a good song. So yeah.
What was your recording process like? Your mindset, how you felt, what you did to get yourself in the mood to be like, okay, this is my first song, the first time people will hear me and not just my voice, but hear who you are and what you're about.
Yeah, I mean, back then, I didn't really know how the recording process was, and I realized that recording process is different for everyone. Like, there's people who will go to the studio and write their song right then and there. There's some people who, before going to the studio, they already have something written. So in the beginning, I feel like I was trying to figure out what my recording process was. Nowadays, I definitely write before I go into the studio, or depending on the situation or the timing, if I didn't have enough time to write something before going, I'll literally I'll write the song that I want to work on that day within a few minutes before going to the studio, or right then when I'm in the studio. So it really depends, but in the beginning, I feel like I was just learning on what works for me. And like the engineer I worked with for the first time, he kind of like gave me like advice on like, how people usually work in the studio, or what this process is like, etc. But now I know it's different for everyone.
Do you write all your songs?
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of them?
Yeah, there is one song where I did have a colleague of mine help me write it, like co-write it. But all my songs are written by me.
In the future, do you want all your songs to be from you, or would you allow more other people to help you?
Mm-hmm. I would do both. I would definitely continue to write my own music, but I definitely wouldn't mind having songwriters write music for me, and then for me to put my own kind of ideas into it, my 2 senses.
What are your plans and goals pursuing your music career?
My biggest goal for me is becoming an international artist. So my goal is to definitely be known around the world, to be able to release all types of music, but definitely in the Latin sector. And definitely for me, with the career that I see myself having, I want to like branch out and have my own like companies. Like I would hope to have my own hair care line. I would hope to have my own perfume line, like all that kind of stuff, as well as like be the face of certain brands. Like I model too, so I would hope to
Okay, you're a little bit of everything of what you are. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. And then I would hope in the future I can do real estate as well too. So we'll see.
Okay, a multi-talented businesswoman. We like to hear that. We like to hear that. What songs do you have out right now?
Well, the last song I just released is called Diabla, and that is available on all platforms. You can just find me on Yelena on any platform, Apple Music, Spotify, whatever it may be, YouTube, Yelena Music. So yeah, that's like my most recent song that I released. And right now I'm currently working on an EP and another project as well too, which we'll be releasing in the fall. But I'll be releasing definitely a single prior to that in the summertime.
Do you have any potential features coming out soon?
That's kind of in the works, but as of right now, that's in the works.
Do you have any artists within Boston you would love to have a feature out with?
There's like a few. There's Leah Nicole. She's a really good artist. There's like Queen. She's a really great artist as well too. There's Matt Scarlett. He's another artist. I have like a list of people that I would like to work with, and people I've worked with before, like my friend Skip to Dip. He's a great Latin artist from the city that I definitely hopefully will do something again. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year. So yeah.
Outside of music, what is your life like? What do you focus on?
I mean, I'm a very busy person, to be honest. I kind of feel like I'm a workaholic at times, which is, I don't know, it's not a good thing or a bad thing, but like,
you gotta chase the money, talk the money, be the money, live the money.
It depends. Yeah, but I'm also like, I can kind of like, I don't know, not be lazy, but sometimes overall I have a hard time like relaxing. I have a hard time telling myself, hey, let's just have a day where we can just watch Netflix. Like, that's not possible with me, even though I wish it was, because sometimes you do need that. Sometimes you really need to just like shut down and just not do anything. But it's kind of hard for me to do that. I don't know why, but I go to the gym. I like to, stay healthy, I would say. I always like to work on like myself, like make sure that I'm looking good at all times physically, and spiritually as well too. I really like to do things that benefit my mental health. So just making sure that I'm always, feeling good at all times. When I do have the time, I like to spend time with my family. I like to spend time with my dog that I have.
What kind of dog do you have?
She's a Siberian Husky.
Shut the front door. Are you serious?
Yeah.
I have one too.
Oh, really?
His name is Zodi.
Oh, yeah. Her name is Rose.
Oh my gosh, we have like 2 crackheads.
Yeah, I know. They're fucking crazy. Oh, excuse my language. But they're crazy. Sometimes I'll be looking at her and I'm like, don't start. Like, and you can tell when they're about to like start. Like sometimes because they have a look on their face, and I'm like, don't start.
It's like they stare at you. It's like that calm eye contact,
calm before the storm,
confidence. It's like they're so calm. You don't know what's next.
Exactly.
You know something is next.
Exactly.
I always give my dog the bombastic side eye.
Yeah, no, every time her name, like I said, her name is Rose. There'd be times I'd be looking at her, I'm like, you better not. Like it's just. But I'm glad that I don't know if this is a good thing, but I'm glad she's not really a howler. Like she'll howl in certain times, like, or she'll like talk that's what they call it with huskies, when she needs to go outside or when she wants food. Or like sometimes, or for attention, or like when I'm arriving home, most of the time when I'm coming home, like from like, work or whatever I have going on, she'll be outside and she'll like be howling like up a storm. Like, I don't know, like if she knew how to talk, I feel like right. Like it's just, they're crazy, but they're good dogs, but they're not for everyone. I'll be telling that to everyone. Like they're beautiful dogs, but they're not for everyone.
Mine gets the zoomies when he sees any of us.
Oh.
I know, like, there's a certain howl he does. I know whoever he's seen lives inside the house. Literally, the howl is so specific, and he'll go up the stairs, down the stairs, up the stairs.
It's crazy.
5 times, circle around, and stop. And when he stops, you take one step, he does it all over again. Until you come up to him. It's, oh my gosh.
They're crazy. Like, they're the most craziest dogs I ever had. Like prior to the dog I have right now, I had an American Eskimo, which is an all white cute dog, like medium size.
I don't know the type of dog, but
they're literally
said all white.
Yeah, they're all white, fluffy, and they bark a lot. They bark a lot, and they're very protective dogs. But she wasn't as crazy compared to a husky. Like I was like, I knew a good amount of huskies before having my dog, but like I didn't know they were that like.
Oh, mine looks like a criminal.
Oh, mine the
Mine
stare
has the black eyes.
the blue eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, mine does too.
We have
There's
the same
a
dog.
yeah.
What?
There's a picture I have of my dog I took of her it was like one winter where it was like we had a really bad snowstorm, and I took a picture of her in the snow, and she literally has this stare where it's like yeah, like you're like
mine does it the death when it's like you're gonna hug me, go beat me up.
yeah.
Well, how you feeling right now?
Exactly. Like you just never know, but overall they're great dogs.
They are.
Yeah.
Have you ever done any live performances yet?
I have. I mean, at this point I've done a good amount, I would say. This year I haven't done too many so far, but they're definitely coming up. Like my next performance, I would say, is I'm going to be performing for the World Baseball Classic, which is happening next month in April. I'm sorry, May, the weekend of Memorial Day weekend. I'll be performing the national anthem, and for 2 games. So one of them is going to be in Lawrence, the other one's going to be in Somerville. So one is on a Friday, the other one is on a Saturday, and that's Memorial Day weekend. So that's my next performance I have right now.
What's worse, to never get it or to get it and lose it?
Oh boy. I would say to never get it, to never go after it, because if you live a life where you never really went after what you wanted, it's kind of like I don't know if this is like crazy to say, but like a death sentence. Because in life, like you only live one life, right? But if you want to talk spiritually, you may live like other lives and stuff, because there's past lives, there's, all that kind of stuff. But every life is going to be different, something different, So in this life, you want to be able to go after what you want, because like the question of, oh, if I did go after it, what would have happened is always going to be on your mind. And that's like something that I always tell myself too, because there's times where like me personally, I get frustrated and I kind of want to give up. But at the same time, I know I'm not going to give up, because this is literally what I was meant for. This is my purpose. And the thought of never going after it, it's just, like I said, it's like a death sentence. Like, shit, like, why didn't I ever go after it? Like, damn, my life is not what I actually wanted it to be, So
there's no bigger regret than regretting that you never took it, or
you never took the chance.
Shit, it could have been better if I did this. Because personally, I rather go for it, mess up, learn from it, and then make it better.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't believe in losing.
Yeah.
I believe in learning and being
from your
better.
Mistakes. Yeah, and changing it. Yeah, I do too. That's why I'm like, yeah, no.
Losing doesn't exist in my life at all.
Exactly.
Some people be like, oh, damn, it failed. Oh, baby, it didn't fail. It didn't fail. I just learned to make it better now. Because I learned a mistake, a probable problem, and now I'm going to enhance it.
Exactly.
If I would say in music terms, I sung the song, my vocals are off, we recorded it, it's not a loss. We can record it again.
Yeah.
I know my issues. Yeah. Now we make it better.
Exactly.
When it comes to your fans, do you feel like you get the support you want, you need, and the support you deserve?
I mean, my fan base is still growing, and I'm still trying to figure out who my fan base is, in a sense, right? And so for those who are my fans, who do support me, I feel like, yeah, I do receive the support that I would like, but my hope is that, the fan base grows, that I end up having my own type of, like, what Beyonce has, like a whole beehive. Like, I hope to have my own, like, I don't know, Yelena fans, or whatever you want to call it, which is going to happen, and I feel like when it does happen, I'll definitely have, like, a fan base that definitely is very supportive, that definitely is very, like, that's just great overall. And but now I feel like I'm getting there, you know, but it's just kind of like I know I will get there as, you know, my career begins to grow, as people really start to know who I am, start to know like, okay, like who is, you know, Yelena and stuff like that. And definitely as I'm going to other places, I know I'll get there, because here in Massachusetts, you know, it's not gonna start here. You know, it's just gonna grow from there, if that makes sense. You know, so yeah.
What kind of, not what kind, but what would you want your your fans to see? What type of message you want to send out, or role model you want to be to them?
Well, for sure, oh gosh, how do I say this? I would just want people to know that, like, you know, I'm not a perfect person, you know, but to also know, like, with the type of music career that I have, or that I'm going for, and the type of music I want to release and stuff like that, I want them to kind of like feel this sort of strong energy from me, kind of, and also, I don't know, I just really want to inspire people with whatever I want to do. I really want to create an impact, because I feel like with the type of platform that artists have, it's all about creating an impact, right? So I just really want people to, like, whenever they come to my shows, whenever they go to certain events that I'm having, or interviews that they see me like in and stuff, or like, you know, I really want them to really feel like feel an impact, or I really want them to get something out of what I'm saying, and I really want them to feel inspired, not just feel inspired by me, but feel inspired for themselves, if that makes sense. And I really want people, the biggest message I want to send out is like, you know, go after what you want in this lifetime. Like, you're more than capable to create the life that you want for yourself. You're more than capable to build yourself up from the ground up. You know, you don't really need people in a way to help you realize that. And also, just, you know, I want to help people kind of like build up confidence with themselves. I want people to really know how powerful they are as a human being.
What's next for you?
Well, right now, like I said before, I'm currently working on my first EP. So that's going to be like one of the biggest projects I'll be dropping this year. I'm working on, you know, still working on my fan base, so connecting with people. Right now, I'm working on connecting with other people in other states. So I would love to definitely perform in other states, like whether it's Florida, New York, California, you know, across pretty much the US, Texas, wherever, even in Puerto Rico and other countries. So I feel like that's pretty much what's next for me, is just thinking, just creating stepping stones to get to where I want to be, you know, to become the artist I want to become. So it's just, those are the next things for me right now. Moving forward. It's okay.
Where can the audience find you?
You can find me on Yelena Music. That's my Instagram. My link tree is on there. So everything is on there. Again, all my music is available on all platforms.
Well, it was nice meeting you.
You
Love
too.
talking to you. And
Likewise.
congratulations on your award.
Thank you.
Till next time.
Yes, till next time.